Hello, I'm feminist Erin Gibson.
Welcome, I'm homosexual Brian Safi.
And this is Attitudes.
LGBT plus issues.
Gender issues.
Pope culture.
Listen, if you can't take the stank, get out of the bank.
Love it. Signed, sealed, deposited, withdrawn. Can you handle it? Hi, my darling. How are you?
Oh, hello, my darling. Please, everyone get off social media. Please, the way you're driving. Please. I can't. It's too...
What's happening? Did you almost get in an accident?
No, just everyone is like, everyone...
It's just a PSA?
It's just a PSA.
Okay.
It's just a PS. It's a POS. It's a piece of shit.
You just want people to not text and drive.
No, I want people to get off the internet during these times because...
Oh, that's great. Do you know what this show is on?
We print this and it goes out on a zine. No, I just mean social medias.
Okay. Well, how come?
Because I just feel like everybody's like, you're not equipped to handle this much information at one time. Like you just aren't. And I don't mean that like to demean anybody's capabilities. I just mean like, this is unprecedented times. And I don't think it's healthy to look at what Elon Musk is doing right after a rescue donkey, then what's happening with the transportation department, and then right into like a kitten giving birth to a dog.
I'll be
like,
honest with you, those are pretty good palate cleansers. Those are pretty good, especially the kitten giving birth to a dog, although I hope it's a full-grown cat giving birth to a puppy.
Yes, full-grown cat. I don't know if this is a thing, but I'm just saying like, we're not meant to zigzag like that.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
That's all. I just think the zigzag is going to be bad.
Yeah, I agree.
You know?
The problem is I think it's here to stay. But yeah, we can all monitor. Listen, I only go on social media.
I'm not saying check out. I'm saying check in, you know, but do it in a way.
So get more on social media.
Listen, I'm being very clear.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that you're spending a long time getting the same information.
Yeah.
And that information is just hammering you in the head.
Especially when it's a medium that doesn't let you understand the information. It just lets you read 10 words about it.
It's just people screaming. And then you're like, but what does this mean? And
like, how many people are actually going to link in bio and reading the story? I mean, by the way, I'm including myself here. Like, now when it's something I'm very concerned about, yes.
Also,
when it's
TikTok,
things I truly can't do anything about, I
cannot watch another 19-year-old who thinks they understand the world. Like, I'm done.
Isn't that wonderful?
That phase of your life should not be televised.
I really think that 19 is the smartest age that anyone could be, because you don't know everything, you know?
Yeah.
And you also haven't lived too long. And
you've lived just enough.
Yeah. And you don't understand the way the world entirely works. So I think it's great.
No, it's a really good time. And I'm glad that all of those people have like unlimited power now, thanks to TikTok. I'm talking about 19-year-olds.
For those
who are also, by the way, running the government right now, to be quite frank.
We typically open the show with our Grandma Gibson segment. We have not
I'm
changed
literally
the format.
wearing a blanket as a shawl. That's how cold I am.
Let me talk to you about TikTok. Okay? We talk to you about social media.
Can I tell you another grandma story?
Yeah.
So I got a lymphatic massage this weekend.
Oh, that sounds nice.
It was so relaxing.
Are your lymph nodes everywhere? Like, are they all over your body, basically?
Yes, everywhere, everything all at once.
Okay, got it.
That movie was based off of lymph nodes.
You know what? So I heard. And I'll never forget that didn't Jamie Lee Curtis play the myofascial?
Yes, she was the myofascial massage.
She made like funny faces.
Yeah.
Remember she won an Oscar for making funny faces.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how she got to her role on The Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, at a kazoo, I can do that. And then did some faces.
Okay, I went to go get a lymphatic massage because I have sentinel nodes that are missing thanks to my preventative mastectomy. Again, you're listening to Meemaw Hour. So I am having some issues with my body's just not working correctly. So I went into this massage. It was so delightful.
That's wonderful.
But I guess the woman also does Reiki healing, but I didn't know that.
Okay.
So she was so soft-spoken. She was so sweet. I would recommend her to anybody. If you call me and text me or send me a letter.
Don't DM her. She's off that.
Never see it. I'll tell you who this woman is because I really did enjoy her. But so she did like a little like light meditation before, and she's barely touching you because she's like, a lot of people do lymphatic massage and it's too harsh, but she's like, your lymphatic system is so gentle and it needs like gentle touch. It was like being lightly caressed by a stranger, but non-sexually.
Okay.
Anyway, she does this stuff. Barely speaks to me. Speaks to me for an hour. Okay.
Great.
I go into a very deep sleep. I do not sleep in public.
I'm so jealous.
I went so dark. I was just like,
and this was in Times Square in a chair, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, there was a guy dressed as Elmo. There was a guy dressed as
cowboy.
Yeah. There was a Spider-Man dude. Yeah.
Right. One of the dancers from Chicago was running late, so she ran by you.
Right tip tap right on those cobblestones.
Yep.
Doesn't talk to me. At the end, she's very soft-spoken. She's so sweet. At the end, she puts her hand on my stomach and she goes, "You're filled with a lot of rage." And then she leaves the room.
Oh my God. What did you say to that?
I was so out of it because I was like sleeping. I was so out of it. I remember going, huh? And then I went to a party. I got fucking tricked into going to a birthday party. You know how you get tricked?
Yeah.
Because someone invites you and you go.
I thought it was going to be like Contact and she was going to be, and you were like, what are you talking about? I'm not at all. She goes, let me play back the tape. And it's you screaming through the entire session and you've just blacked out and don't remember it.
I think that's energetically what I did to this poor woman. I think I thought I was just fucking sleeping, but
who isn't full of rage right now? I don't blame you one bit.
Listen, but then I was like, I don't feel angry. And then I went to this party and I befriended a stranger, which is not something adults do, but I somehow did it.
It can be fun though.
And I was telling her the story. And I was like, filled with rage. That's pretty harsh. And then I started fucking getting really mad. Yeah. I was talking about stuff and I was like,
the nodes know. The nodes know.
The nodes canodes.
Yep.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think my new thing to do though is to not say a word for hours in any social setting and then leave and say, you're filled with rage. And then walk out.
Can you imagine, by the way, anything more unnerving, really more gaslighting, frankly. And I know that was not her intention, but can you imagine waking up in the morning and just someone looking at you quietly? You're filled with rage.
Couldn't have been nicer.
Or if like someone's like, hey, I really need you to see my side of this. And the other person's like, you are screaming right now. Like that's how that feels.
That's what it was.
No, I'm simply talking. I'm just absolutely, but simply talking.
Brian, I do think you should go to this woman because I'm now obsessed with her. Like I want to be like, what is she going to tell me next time? It's the most relaxed I've ever been in my entire life. Yeah. Most relaxed I've ever been in my entire life.
You will murder everyone you know. You're like, okay.
Okay, so I'll let you get dressed and meet you outside. Thanks so much.
By the way, I don't fully understand what's happening with my hair this week. I'm trying to get a handle on it. It feels very presidential. I feel a little bit like I look like Matt Gaetz.
See this?
Just a tad. No. I just am not really liking it at all. I'm going to be honest.
It's very 90s. Have you gone up to a 30-year-old and asked for their opinion?
It feels very, very 90s. I think that's what it is. I almost feel like Bill Clinton if he were a brunette.
Yes, and not, God, my dream.
Sexual predator.
That was my one problem with Bill Clinton was his hair color.
Right, exactly. Anyway, yeah. Did you...
have you ever tried something called product?
I never have. I'm not even kidding. Erin knows I never wear product. Do you think this was happening?
Well, your hair will do more different things if you put product in it.
No, I know. I just, what happens when I put product in it? It just like... It's in it. And it just all I can think about is how like there's something in my hair that's not supposed to be in my hair.
Right. So that sounds like OCD.
Yeah, no,
of some sort.
Yeah, no, it is. But anyway, I'm getting it.
Have you ever done a test to see what kind of mental disorders you have?
No, but Sergio's scared to tell you something. Scared to tell Erin I got my latest hair product from TikTok shop. Listen, that's
I'm
okay
telling
with
you,
me.
But here's the thing, Sergio. Why not ask the hair people who cut your hair? They are the ones who know.
I mean, that's true too.
Why ask people on TikTok?
No, because they know how to do, they listen, I swear by that gum that helps define your jawline. Have you heard of this?
Mm-mm.
It's absolute and complete
So
bullshit.
it's just gum?
But it's harder to chew. And so Gen Z.
So it gives you TMJ. Okay, go ahead.
Right. Thinks that it will help define your jawline because it's harder to chew than most gum. Where really, it's just driving you crazy. It doesn't define your jawline.
And breaking your molars?
Right.
Just cracking your fucking,
At best,
off.
it's bad for you. At worst, it could make you toothless. Facial fitness gum. There it is. Facial fitness.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's just gum.
Yeah.
But you know what? Just get yourself some bubble yum or whatever. What's the one that's in the pink stuff? Bazooka.
Yeah.
Just get yourself some gum straight from 1950, some dead stock gum.
That's right.
And you'll see the thing that I've always said, which is everything is old.
Yeah.
You think you invented hard gum? You didn't eat gum in the 80s that you got literally out of the back of a fucking gas station.
It only hit about 5 of your taste buds for 3 seconds.
Then it was a fucking workout.
Then it was over. Then it really was like, oh my God, if my body could do what my mouth is doing, I would be unstoppable.
Yeah.
I'd be ripped.
Yeah. A treadmill for your teeth. Yeah, exactly.
Did you watch the Super Bowl? I mean,
Nope.
at this point, it's old.
Did you?
I watched Kendrick Lamar and I actually thought it was unbelievable. I think
I
it was
can't wait to watch it.
one of the top 3 Super Bowl performances I've ever seen, layered with symbolism. It was incredible. It was really incredible. I
can't wait to watch it.
It was exciting too. It was fun to watch.
And I went to bed at 7:30
Not
because
to
I was
mention
so
the
filled with
entire.
rage.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
It was also crazy that the entire stadium screamed the word pedophile. That was crazy. But that's in a Kendrick Lamar
Let's
song.
bring that. Can we bring that energy to Trump? Is that possible?
Well, he called out Trump at the beginning. I mean,
he did?
Yes.
What did he say?
I'm afraid to get the quote wrong. So it was great though. He said,
let me get that quote. I
know, because I'll just sound dumber than ever. So he said, you picked the right time, but the wrong guy. That's what he said. He said, the revolution is about to be televised, but you picked the right time, but you picked the wrong guy. And Donald Trump was there. And I thought that was wonderful.
Okay.
Hearing that.
I like it.
I was proud of that. Serena Williams was there dancing.
Yes.
The crip dance that got her basically excoriated for doing it at Wimbledon, and people saying that she was bringing down the tournament, all this stuff. She did that dance on stage
Respectability
last night,
politics. Yep.
which was fantastic. It was great. It was just fun.
I can't wait to watch it.
Incredible. It was just political and cool, and obviously beyond the Drake stuff was great.
I had so much to do. I had to watch season 8 of Great British Bake Off for the 6th time. So I had a lot to do. Wait, do you know I have a problem? Every night I watch 2 episodes of Bake Off. Should I get the scroll
out? Yes, I'm aware.
Every night, the only thing I watch is Great British Bake Off.
Why is that bad?
I don't watch, and I'm not joking. I don't even read anything else. I just go right to Bake Off. I don't know. It's like my lullaby.
I've been watching nothing, but I actually did watch a couple of news shows this weekend because I had a cold. I'm doing a little better. Thanks, Erin.
I don't care.
I don't either. It's so boring. But I am caught up on...
I'm just kidding. Of course I care.
I know you do. I'm caught up on Traders now.
Why do what happened to us? We used to be able to joke around and we knew we were joking around.
We still can. I knew you were kidding.
No, I know. But then I felt instantly like, oh no, I have to clarify that I'm kidding. Is up. Yeah.
Listen, rake me over the coals and I know it comes from love. I'm not even kidding. You know that. You know that.
Yeah, I know that.
In fact, are we going to dinner in 2 nights?
We absolutely are. I hope everyone's jealous.
Absolutely.
We're going to see each other in person for the first time.
I'm going to feel out that
2
rage.
years? 1 year. No, it's been a year.
Has it been since Bernadette Peters? No,
yeah,
it's been.
Aaron, you went to Brian's. Well, you went to Brian's show, but
I guess she saw me, but I didn't see her. So it's been since November.
See how that works?
Saw me.
When Brian's on stage, he only sees the stage.
That's right. It's black out there. I can't see anything. But yes, you were there. So you've seen me since November, but
that's right.
I haven't seen you in longer. So that'll be nice. But I'm caught up on the Traders now, and I'm caught up on 90 Day Fiancé, the last resort.
And do you feel like I've started watching the first season of Traders? Do you feel like it's...
Don't even bother. You go to season 2 immediately.
Okay.
Yeah. Season 2 is great, and season 3 is great.
Wait, is season 3 the one that you're watching now?
Yes.
But I don't need to watch season 2 to understand season 3, right?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, the only reason to watch season 2 is Phaedra Parks is brilliant, but season 3 is so good. So you could just catch up now.
I'll watch it.
On season
I need
3.
something, but am I going to be like, because I watched the thing where they had everyone buried alive and I couldn't do it.
They do that in season, actually, yeah, you might have watched season 2. I think they do that in season 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
not my kind of evening. I'm watching Bake Off. I'm watching Low Stakes.
No, I
where when
understand.
people get eliminated, someone cries and goes, "Oh my God, but you're my new best friend." And it's literally like the kindest people in the world who love to bake.
Sure.
So if it's any more tension than that, I can't handle it.
And I'm watching 90 Day Fiancé The Last Resort. So my television watching is at peak crap, but I love it.
That I never recovered from. I never recovered from 90 Day Fiancé.
It's a lot. And The Last Resort is really, first of all, the score that it's set at a resort and they're trying to make it seem like it's the White Lotus. Like the music is the same as White Lotus practically. They're just trying to make it seem like this is an experience. And basically some 90-day couples are there to work on their relationships now that they're married. And so they do all these sort of couples therapy things, but it's very public therapy. So it's like paint chocolate on each other. And they have like sex therapy, or like another therapy is like, be honest. And it's like, I think your pubes are too long.
Is that one of the things they say?
I think somebody says that. Yeah.
Why?
To his wife.
Oh, he says it to his wife?
I missed it, but Stephanie said, did you hear Brandon tell Julia that? And I said, I didn't hear that, but she said he did. And then
shocking.
Another one is a guy one woman, Ari, has locked her husband out of his social media, his Instagram passwords. Like,
I'm on board with this. Go ahead.
Because he cheated on her allegedly a few times, and after his sister punched her in the face in Ethiopia. And so now they're like trying to get back on track, and they have a child together, which was a brilliant move. And so she's saying, he says, I'll work stuff out with you as soon as I get my social media passwords back. But it's clear he doesn't want to work anything out with her. He just wants his social media passwords. But my thing is that she finally gave them to him. Okay. Ari gave him to Benny. Honey, that's only step one, because we're in a 2-step authentication verification process. So when he tries to log in, there's going to be a text sent to her phone. So this is all, it's a ruse. She really didn't give him his passwords back, because it's impossible to give someone their passwords back. It really just is.
But that's the currency of, I'll work it out if I can get back on Facebook.
Well, he's trying to be big on social media, on Instagram. He does that.
Oh, he's trying to be an influencer.
Yeah. And then Gino and Jasmine are there. They're my favorite. She's from Panama. She's amazing. And Gino is, I don't even know what. He's completely bald, but he keeps one patch of hair in the back that looks like the back of a baseball cap. Like it has the space and the dents. So that when he has a hat on, it looks that he has hair, but all his hair has fallen out except he keeps that part.
This is why I had to stop watching.
No, I'm going to be honest. It's Trump's America. No doubt about it. And then there's a Russian, she's Ukrainian. Julia's Russian. But there's a Ukrainian woman named Natalie who is so out of her mind. The only person more out of her mind is Josh, her trash boyfriend, who's the worst.
It just sounds like people
and when other
who
people
hate
go
each
through
other.
pain, Natalie laughs hysterically. She thinks it's so funny. She goes, I'm sorry, I just can't help it.
It sounds great. I have to say, it sounds
so
awesome.
Good, Aaron.
It sounds so great. Good. It's exactly the kind of humanity that I think we all need to.
No, it's been great. Especially you read these horrible headlines and then you get to watch a show like that. It's so nice. And I have my 90s hair and, I'm drinking Diet Right. It's great.
You look like Emilio Estevez in The Breakfast Club, down to the sweatshirt.
I'm telling you, something's wrong. But I'm getting my hair cut on Friday. So
are you sponsored by Nike now? Is that what that shirt is?
No, I debated wearing this shirt or not to wear it, but I did like the Nike ad in the Super Bowl, but that's not why I'm wearing this. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't even see the Nike ad in the Super Bowl. I just saw the New York Times talking about it, and I figured
the amount of lies in the last 30 seconds are just actually insurmountable.
But that's it.
I don't even know what's true. I think you read the New York Times. That I believe.
Yeah. Guess how I drink my Diet
I don't
Coke
believe
now.
that you didn't wear the shirt on purpose. I think you wore it because you look good in blue.
You want to see how I drink my Diet Coke now?
Yeah.
Literally on a silver platter.
Well, I thought you had but weren't you going to do a crystal?
I was and paint my nails red, but I forgot we went over this. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've actually
And someone in the comments told me to stop drinking Diet Coke.
Because
we'll get there at the end. Huh?
Because of why?
They said Coca-Cola is a giant corporation.
So is everything.
I said,
do you want me to tell you? Do you want me to tell you why?
Why Coca-Cola is a giant corporation?
No, everyone.
I know.
No, everyone's turning on it.
Payables.
I guess there's a factory that was turning in their employees to ice recently, so that's why
Brian.
Mexicans are going to Pepsi now.
Oh my God. Diet Pepsi. Listen, I'm off Diet Coke. Okay, fine. You won, Sergio. You won. Everyone won. That's a good reason. I can't tell you how heartbroken I am. What's Zevia up to? Is Zevia doing anything crazy with DEI?
Trust nobody.
Sergio, can you see it? Is Zevia a good company? I can go to Zevia. I can't go to Diet Pepsi.
What is Zevia?
Google says they have a 3.8 out of 5 stars on diversity and inclusion.
Oh my God. I mean, can someone... What about...
You know what you could do? You could make your own soda.
You know what, Aaron? I'm not a fucking trad wife. Not allowed to work. Okay? It's not my career.
All you do is you go out and you get some sassafras.
Right.
You know, get some chicory root.
Can you look up Diet Right? DIETRITE? How are they on DEI? Do they exist?
I'd be shocked. So Sergio's just your secretary for DEI?
No, I'm sorry, Sergio. I'm sorry.
I'm not
Sergio,
finding anything.
Sergio, tell me, do me a favor. Tell me if this company's bad.
Sorry. Okay, fine. Coca-Cola is an evil corporation. Is Diet Coca-Cola evil? Do you think it's the same?
I do. I have a hunch.
Them,
I have a hunch that Coke and Diet Coke are the same companies. Yeah.
Okay, those are pretty good reasons.
Yeah, I really do.
So now I'm off that. Oh, well.
Yeah, no, what else?
Zevia, here I come. I mean, I'm sorry. I just didn't have to do it.
Oh, my God. Well, I don't know what that is. Is that the Whole Foods brand?
It's the Stevia Coca-Cola. Yeah, Stevia Coca-Cola.
Okay. You could also not drink soda.
No, because I went to Italy and that.
Yeah.
That's,
you could do what I do and have 2 martinis every night and call it a day.
you know what? In the long
That's
run,
where
it's
I'm at.
probably better for you, even though we're not supposed to be drinking any alcohol anymore, apparently.
Because who said that?
I don't know. You remember there was this study that was just released that says even a little alcohol, they used to say little alcohol is better for you than no alcohol sometimes. Now they're saying no alcohol is better for you than a little.
Why? Because it's poison? Because it makes your body inflamed? Because it makes your lymphatic system not work? I don't buy it.
Because it's literally poison. But then apparently this study was founded by a wellness group that specifically one of their main tenets is not to drink alcohol. So who knows?
Talk to the Italians. They're fucking alcoholics and they make beautiful
all
art.
Of Europe. Give me a break.
But also, I also don't feel good when I drink. So, I mean, maybe that's a study.
No, I agree. It is poison. It is.
Maybe that's a study. Brian, we have so much going on the Patreon this week.
I know.
We have a new thing we're doing, episode 17.
We do. I'm excited for this.
Football for women. Oh, yeah. It's Cougars. It's amazing. We were shoe for Valentine's traditions.
Very Valentinian this week.
Very
shout out to the Eastern Empire Emperor. What?
Do you know about the Valentine? Do you know the lore of Valentine?
No,
he married people when marriage was illegal.
I think I did know that.
Yeah, because it was only for like aristocrats or something.
Right,
guys. Everybody's been doing it right for a long time.
Yeah, until 2025.
And then we have a Vault app. 77. Yeah. I found a shoebox greeting book from my step grandmother, Marla.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Marla. It's called Girls Just Want to Have Facelifts, which I have somewhere. And then here's something from the book. After a certain age, life is a breeze and your boobs are blowing it.
How old were you? What birthday was it for you that she was like ready?
No, I think I found it in my grandpa's stuff.
Oh, it was hers. I see. It was hers.
I don't think it was a gift because she died.
She wasn't
before
like,
I was
happy
like
15th birthday, get a face.
Well, she died when I was like 12. So yeah, I would have loved to have this book from her as
Honestly,
an adult.
to be honest, that would have been a great gift.
Yeah. I think she's probably a great lady, but I don't remember. She used to make matching sweaters for me and my Cabbage Patch doll.
That's so sweet.
It was fucking sweet as hell. And then she would make one for Audrey and her Cabbage Patch doll. We have the fucking cutest, sweetest.
She would be so proud of your smiley face shawl right now, Erin. I really feel it. I mean it.
She was actually very influential in fashion because she made weird ass sweaters.
Amazing.
Not even like just weird kooky stuff. She had a knitting machine.
I'm gonna be
so
honest
she didn't
with
even
you.
knit like this. She knitted like that. I don't know.
That's so nice to have someone in your family, like, and I speak for myself here too. When your parents feel a little unstable, like, it's just nice to have someone who's like, let me just, even if they're not having big talks with you, at least they're like, I want to do something nice for you.
Oh my God. My grandpa and I were best friends when he was here, when he was alive.
Nice.
I mean, thank God I got to spend time with him when I came to, it was actually the best thing about coming to LA was that I got to spend one-on-one time with my grandpa. And I also did something that everyone should do. You should take a camera, take your phone, and you should interview your fucking grandparents. Because I will tell you something. I have a video of my grandpa talking about how much he loves Beyonce. And I will I look at that video once a month. It makes me so happy.
It's really nice.
Yeah. He was also a racist and had other problems, but I didn't record that. I recorded the good things, you know?
That's good.
And is the world a better place because he's dead? Absolutely. He would have voted for Trump.
Sure.
But I like the guy.
Right.
You know?
I do.
Should we get into some shoes?
I think we should.
Senator Bradford Blackmun from Mississippi at your service.
Oh.
We owe this man 4,000 claps, 8,000 bows, 2 million curtsies, a tip of our hats. And my hat is one of those medieval dunce hats with the scarf coming out the top.
I know the ones that you could like, the maidens would wear, right?
But they must have been so uncomfortable.
That hat sucks. Like, to be honest with you, that fucking
with
sucks.
A chin strap?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the point of it?
And also, like, who looks beautiful with a chin strap? And wasn't the idea that it would make them look beautiful?
I didn't work. They didn't have mirrors then, I guess.
I guess, no, certainly not.
Yeah.
They just had to take someone else's word for it.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder doesn't work with mirrors.
Like, you know what would make
Do you think that was what caused
tonight?
narcissism?
A giant clown hat and a string at the bottom of your face.
Yeah.
Pulling up.
No, there's no concealer back then.
No, absolutely no concealer. No dry shampoo.
No, your hair was greasy as hell.
Maybe that was the point of the hat.
Oh, to conceal your dirty ass weave. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Could be.
Yeah. That makes sense. But then was it also to be like when you're a man and you're taking off your beloved's chin strap and then you take off the thing and you go, oh my God, you have a round head instead of what I thought was obviously like a triangle.
I know that must be shocking because probably
like
all men back then thought women had triangular heads.
Absolutely. And they were shocked to be like, oh, you're women. They're just like us.
I thought your head was literally 4 feet tall and peaked at the center.
And my follow-up question is that what the movie Coneheads is based off of? Is that where they got that idea?
I actually don't know. Yeah, it had to be, right?
I don't know where else you would get it.
It was shocking to me when Coneheads came out and it wasn't a period piece. I couldn't believe it. I thought for sure this has to be.
Well, it's a period piece now.
From medieval times. Yeah, now it is. Yeah. Sure.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
So Senator Blackmun introduced a bill that would ban sperm in all of its forms.
Okay.
So this is in Mississippi.
How many forms does it take?
Cakes, liquids, pâtés.
Okay, fair.
Anything you could shape it into, it's illegal.
Okay.
It is called the Contraception Begins at Erection Act. I love this man.
Obsessed with this.
So he said it would be against the law to discharge genetic material without the intent to fertilize an embryo, and the only exception being donating sperm and using contraception to prevent fertilization. So if you go out there and you are using contraception to capture your sperm, congratulations, you are not in violation of this law.
Nice.
Are you out there doing anything else? And you're absolutely in violation of this law. What would happen if you were to jizz into a belly button, you ask? $1,000 for the first time, $5,000 for a second, and $10,000 per each subsequent offense. This is what he told an NBC affiliate in Mississippi.
He's told them that?
No, he said this other thing I'm about to say.
Okay.
He said all across the country, especially here in Mississippi, the vast majority of bills relating to contraception and or abortion focus on the women's role when men are 50% of the equation. This bill highlights that fact. It brings the man's role into the conversation. People can get up in arms and call it absurd, but I can't say it bothers me.
Yeah. Legislate men's bodies. How about that?
I'm going to tell you something. I can't say it bothers me is my new burn for 2025.
Yeah. I can't say it bothers me.
I can't say it bothers me. Mm-hmm. That is the most, it is literally, you are filled with anger. It is subtle. It lasts. It lasts. I can't say it bothers me. Did he say that something I said? He can't say, but what a dismissive, polite thing to say.
Mm-hmm. It is polite.
I can't say it bothers me.
Yeah.
And guess who else is about to not bother too? Ohio, because Rep. Anita Samani brought the Contraception Begins at Erection Act to Ohio state legislature this week.
Okay.
She says you don't get pregnant on your own. And this bitch would know because she's not just Representative Samani. She is a Dr. Samani. And not only is she a doctor, she is an OBGYN.
You're channeling Susie Orman right now.
She is an OBGYN. Okay. Would also make a felony. It's the same bill in Ohio. Men to discharge semen without the intent to fertilize. Why?
Great job. Zoom thumbs up.
Once again.
Aaron. Yeah.
One of the most outspoken opponents of Dr. Samani's efforts is an anti-choice activist named, I think there's two ways to say this person's name.
Okay.
Austin Beagle or Austin Beagle.
I mean, I think we need to go with that.
Okay. So Beagle said that this is a mockery of the most basic biological concepts. Now, I don't know what's funny about it.
Honestly, if you're gonna do a spoof, that's not really, yeah.
No. Mockery of the most basic biological concepts. Do you know what's absolutely absurd? Is that
let's go down the list here.
Someone's appendage that doesn't even work for function. I mean, I guess pee comes out of it, but like other than that, it does nothing.
Well, helps procreate.
Okay, then it gets hard. Yeah. And then it sneezes.
Yeah.
Okay. White stuff.
Well, your nasty butt moves back and forth.
That is...
Like, it's just guys thrusting is one of the most disgusting things I can think of.
It's there. Oh, there.
And like, I do it and it's gross.
I honestly, there's nothing funnier than.
Have you ever seen a guy jerking off standing up? It is one of the most upsetting things you could ever imagine because they do this weird, like, lean back and like hunch their hips forward when they're doing it. Like, they don't stand straight up.
No.
They kind of like lean back a little. And then push their hips up.
Well, I did know someone who could jerk off into sinks.
Yeah, did you see them do that?
Yes.
Yeah, or worse, if it's in a sink, they're like on their tiptoes a little. That is so disgusting.
Listen, men are nasty.
Period.
My apologies, but men are nasty.
I'm with you.
Nasty. There is a sexual way to be.
It can be part of our charm every now and then.
To hunch over, jerk off into a sink. You're right. I won't argue.
No, that's gross. I don't like it when I walk in a room and someone's doing that.
And you walk into rooms all the time and that's just happening, right?
You can't even imagine the rooms I've walked into in this lifetime. And I got to be
Who's doing it? Friends, neighbors, countrymen?
Back in the day, people would say like,
come over and watch me jerk off?
Find me jerking off in my room and I'll wait for you. And they're just staring at you like eyes wide, standing up, hips forward, hunched down, socks on, sometimes baseball cap. Like, It's disgusting.
I would
and if they're
literally
doing
start
it in a sink,
laughing.
they're on their tiptoes. No,
I
it's,
would.
like,
That's a
shocking.
mockery of the most basic biological concepts.
Yeah.
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 I mean, honestly, someone to be like, it's not funny to make it so that men get fined for jacking off. I'm
Right.
like, you should be fined. You should be fined for it.
I should have, you know what I should have gone in with? I should have gone in like a parking meter person with like
meter
a
maid?
slip and just left a slip on their desk being like, you are fined, because that was one of the most horrifying things I've ever seen in my life.
Well, also, like, if you're not going to stand up for reproductive rights now and all of a sudden you care because someone's going to start policing your jizz.
Yeah.
You got problems. And I think you should, first of all, work on standing up straight when you jerk off into the sink. And second of all, thank you. And second of all, when you're jizzing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fireworks, baby.
Fireworks. Let's think about how the shoe is on the other dick. You know what I mean?
I sure do.
Okay.
I will also say the only thing worse than standing up and jizzing is sitting down and jerking off.
On the toilet?
Sitting down anywhere. But yeah, that too.
I've seen it all.
I think it's only appropriate to do it laying down. And
Don't
even that
invite someone over. That is between you and Jesus.
It's true.
Okay?
It's true.
Just don't have any witnesses.
Yeah.
And then we don't have to have these stories. This doesn't have to live rent free in my brain.
Yeah. And if someone says, do you want to come over and watch me jerk off? You should also include the part where you say, I'll be standing up, hips forward, hunched, ankle socks on, baseball cap.
But then I guess you're going.
No, but they don't say that part.
Oh, they just say, come over. And then they don't say,
Right.
I'm going to be jerking off.
Exactly. Right.
Okay. Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, I don't like this.
Yeah.
My freshman year roommate. No, I moved into an apartment my sophomore year because we had to live on campus for freshman year. I moved in an apartment with one of my friends from high school. I found a drawing that his girlfriend, who I absolutely hated, they would fuck in the shower while I'm trying to watch Friends. And this wasn't when Friends was VOD, kids. This is when Friends, you had to watch it in the moment.
Television.
Okay. And if you hear someone moaning in the shower next to you, it would ruin all the magical
Marcel
jokes.
the Monkey's big jokes.
All the stuff. Ross getting caught in leather pants.
That creepy coffee barista staring at Rachel.
Yes.
Rachel kissing Winona Ryder and then feeling disgusted by it.
Yes. Relax-a-taxi. All of it. It would ruin all of it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, one day I decided that I was going to just go in his room and just go through his things because that's a cool thing to do.
I can't think of a better payback. I understand that.
And I went under his bed.
Yeah.
Because that's the first place I look. Yeah. And I found a
nudie.
But it was like a actual like sketch pad. Like like not a normal size, like a bigger than life one.
Right. Like win, lose, or draw.
Yes, it was win, lose, or draw. Okay. When your professor has the Scantron is out and there's no chalk left.
A child psychologist's easel.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. Sized drawing that she had drawn of him naked, but it wasn't good. It was like a stick figure plus, but he had his socks on. Nude, totally nude, but had his socks on. And then there was one of her. Like they drew each other, and but the artistic level was exactly the same.
Is there a gallery anywhere that will let me do? Honestly, we need to start an Instagram account, Erin. I know we're off social media, but we just got to put socks on important pieces of nudes. Do you know what I mean?
Brian, I'm gonna
like David, Venus de Milo, anyone nude.
I would love
Sistine Chapel, they're all wearing socks.
I'm going to show you what it looked like. This is not an exaggeration, okay? Imagine you're naked with your fucking boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. You're in college, okay? You're like, oh my God, I just got out of a high school that I didn't get to explore. I don't know, I have no sex ed. This person's body's my wonderland, okay?
Yeah.
And that you draw this, okay?
So excited. Erin is...
Okay, this is
truly going to give this her all. Am I going to be turned on?
I'm not even joking. I'm not. This is not a joke. This is what it looked like.
I'm so excited. Oh, guys, this is a literal gingerbread man like with a penis hanging down vertically between his legs.
And hers looked exactly the same, but with like a vagina. But there were socks. There's clear socks. There was clear socks on them.
They're practically booties.
Hey. Can you imagine? I'm like, oh, babe, I just love your fucking cock. I love your body. You make me so wet. Let me draw you.
That's literally the gingerbread man with a giant dong. Oh. Frankly, with a giant, I mean, he must have been uncircumcised. Clearly.
Yeah, it's in the wrong spot too. It's basically
it's like it's behind the taint. It literally looks like he's taking a shit in the shape of a penis.
It was honestly the best part of college. It's
pretty great.
Pretty okay.
And worth the break-in.
Worth the break-in, yeah. Anyway, these measures are probably not going to pass because these are both in legislatures controlled by the Republicans. But
they were sort of just to make a point.
I'm here for the efforts. What a great point.
No kidding.
What a great point.
And I got to say, and I've been reading it a lot lately, and I totally agree. And I mean this in politics too. Here for the counterculture.
Here,
and
honey,
I think it's going to be peak. The sad thing is, it's going to be peak countercultural in one of the worst years in American history. But I have to say, people are showing up for it. Look at the Grammy Awards. Look at the Super Bowl.
Yep. And you know what? If you're not a part of it, you might as well just be voting for the fucking Republicans. So that means just throwing your Diet Cokes away. Okay.
I know. You know what? I need to get it out of my sight because I opened it before the show, before I knew any of this was going on. And now I keep sipping on it. So I'm going to do my water bottle.
I will say one thing about Beagle. Mm-hmm. One of the things he said, and I've heard this a lot, but I haven't really talked about on the show. He was like basically saying, okay, so he's going to introduce a bill through someone who's in legislature. He's not even in the legislature to ban all abortion in Ohio, even though in 2023, the voters passed abortion protections. And so he was asked, like, doesn't that mean that you're going to be doing something that the voters don't want? And he said, right. Yeah, look back at American history. The issue of slavery was popular with the majority at certain times. So it's absolutely possible for the majority of a state's populace to support something that's evil and something that's wrong. I've heard this argument a couple times now from Republicans who are on the anti-choice
hilarious
stance. I'm like, who are you talking about supporting slavery? Let's do a thought experiment. The people who could vote and change things back in that day were white, male.
What's changed?
Landowners.
Right. Rich people.
The difference is that other people can fucking vote now. Yes. Including people who are generally affected by these fucking shitty laws. So the slavery thing is so... First of all, it's racist as hell.
It's so fucked.
But then secondly, it's like, you don't say look back at American history when you haven't even cracked a fucking book.
And not to mention when you basically made it.
Yeah, look back at, you know what I take away from that?
Look in the mirror.
Maybe we shouldn't let white, straight, rich guys run things because they don't seem to make good decisions.
Heart agree.
Yeah.
And my heart agrees. And my heart will go on. My hips are forward, hunched over, socks on, baseball cap, or tiptoed in the sink.
Yeah.
That kind of
looking like this.
Looking like Gumby with bangs and a dick. Listen, it's hard to keep track of the news these days, and that really is actually by design, because in this whole Trump shock and awe plan of overwhelming us with as many psycho moves as possible at the same time, it can feel like we're drowning in information, and it can make you feel truly helpless. I mean, over 50 executive orders in a minute, this newly created DOGE, which is Elon Musk's thing, this oversight of government thing. It's hard to keep track of what they're doing. It's hard to keep track of what institutions are shutting down, like the Consumer Financial Protection Agency, which, by the way, is there to protect you against fraud, overdraft fees, late fees, all of these things. There was a story about some woman who, after she had saved all this money to get a mortgage, the bank decided to charge her these extra fees that were not anywhere in her paperwork. She took it to this committee, which, by the way, was the Consumer Financial Protection Agency, which was founded right after the great financial recession of 2007. And they cut her a check and scolded the company. That's gone. No longer can you be protected from, or no longer do credit card companies and, loan sharks and all of these people who gave bad loans to begin with, no longer do they have to be accountable. That's crazy. Not to mention what Doge has done to USAID and all the millions of people, particularly in Africa, who are not getting the medicines they need, who are not getting the prevention they need, nothing, which, by the way, we could not be a more global society at this point. So what hurts one of us hurts all of us. It's absurd. And by the way, if you think it's happening there first, guess where it's happening next, honey? Right here. So it's just tragic and disgusting. And we also can't really talk about what the Democrats are doing because it at least seems like they're doing nothing. And in fact, they've essentially said, or some have essentially said, like, you just can't rely on Congress at this point because the Republican has Congress. So the only way you can fight back is through the judicial branch, which is why we're like trying to make all these new lawsuits. But that shit takes a lot of time. There is no stopping this crazy train right now. And there's no Democratic leader either, whatever. But something horrible in the midst of all this stuff did happen in my backyard this weekend. And this is just another thing to say. And again, I want to say, to like make this a little lighter, which Aaron and I just talked about, we had a very queer and very female Grammys this year that was incredible. Kendrick Lamar blew it out of the water at the halftime show. Serena Williams was there getting hers. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy. It was such a great way to start out that show with Donald Trump in the audience watching. All of that is very exciting, and I think we're going to see more of that. But what's really upsetting is even before these executive orders, the ink is dried on them. You are finding liberal cities and liberal people in high positions already bowing to Trump and kowtowing to him and thinking like, well, there's no point anymore. I specifically want to shout out two hospitals who I want to say have fallen very quickly to Trump's executive order on banning.
Are you talking about New York and California?
Care. Yes.
Yeah.
Hundreds of protesters Thursday, day one of my cold, which is less important, rallied outside Children's Hospital Los Angeles, which is right here next to me, after the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles announced Tuesday that it would be placing an indefinite pause on hormonal therapy treatment for new transgender patients under 19. Allow me to say the name of the hospital again. Children's Hospital, Los Angeles. The hospital said that this decision was a response to Donald Trump's executive order. Now, just so everyone knows what that executive order was called, because I actually think it makes it worse, because these executive orders are, the titles of these orders are completely transphobic and meant to scare and intimidate and dehumanize. And the fact that Children's Hospital Los Angeles would call out the name of the order and say, in compliance with this order, we've decided to terminate these things and to stop doing this, when, by the way, it's not even being enforced yet. This is like, they're doing this cart before the horse. Children's Hospital Los Angeles is insane. So the executive order is entitled Protecting Children from Chemical and Surgical Mutilation, which again is a scare tactic. It's scientifically and medically wrong. There is only evidence to support that these things enrich a child's life and are safe. And anything that you could do to a person under 19 is completely safe, legitimizes them. And in every medical book, let's put it this way, every accredited medical book that's not founded by, I don't even know, the Family Research Council, is that this is actually beneficial and cost effective. So the hospital said that the decision was a response to that order. And what I don't understand is, isn't there a way, like, I wonder if there's, and I'm not a lawyer, I'm certainly not a doctor. I mean, I'm barely an adult. I can't even figure out my hair. I can't even use product. But my pea brain thinks that if you have these executive orders that are titled on like lies, like protecting children from chemical and surgical mutilation, couldn't you say something like This
as
title
doctors,
is fraudulent, a lie, and wrong. Why would we adhere to it? Doesn't even make sense.
We used to think it was sound medical practice and the right thing to do, but I guess we changed our minds as doctors. That's essentially what they're saying when they kowtow to this.
Right. Right. And leaving, by the way, someone was about to have their top surgery that they had been in line for forever and couldn't get it, like that day. Banning gender-affirming care, as I mentioned before, is only one in more than 50 executive orders that Trump has signed since taking office. And there are a bunch, or several big ones, I guess I should say, that target trans people, including banning trans athletes from school sports, which, by the way, so many high schools and stuff have already bowed to this order, except for a school in Virginia that was like, no, we haven't really even seen the document yet. Why would we bow to it? Like, people are just folding under this administration. It's crazy. So that was one, the trans athletes from school sports, banning trans people from serving in the military. He created an executive order that only recognizes two sexes, male and female, has instructed government agencies to only issue new documents like passports and visas that reflect a person's sex assigned at birth. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, I'm just trying to get the fucking roads paved here. What is this doing? What are you doing?
Yes, it's a distraction while they rob.
Totally.
They're letting the Christians, the hardcore evangelicals, run things so they can just rob the country blind.
My question is, why did LA want to be ahead of the curve on this? Why? They're one of the first hospitals in the country that provided gender-affirming care to trans young people. Hospitals around the country are looking at Children's Hospital Los Angeles to see how they're going to respond to this shit. And the decision they ultimately made isn't just a decision for the people and the parents and the children of Los Angeles. It reflects what could happen in the entire country because they led the charge on this to begin with in a good way. And were the first to fucking fold. And by first, I mean second, because the first one to fold was NYU's Langone Hospital in New York City. Now, I went to that hospital when I used to live in New York because I thought I had appendicitis. I didn't.
So they helped you on that front?
Yes, I had a hangover. I was 21. And
so you didn't know? Yeah.
No. Something was very wrong. But anyway, they were the ones, and listen, I always give them credit, and they were the ones who ultimately said you don't need surgery. In fact, you are wasting resources. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And so ultimately I learned a big lesson there, but not anymore. They started canceling appointments before Children's Hospital LA, right after the executive order was signed. And like that, there have been protests in New York outside the hospital and in Children's Hospital LA outside that hospital. Not to mention, by the way, many city officials in LA, including Hugo Soto Martinez, who is my representative, all these people saying, including the Attorney General of California, saying Children's Hospital, what you're doing is wrong, unethical, and unnecessary. Why are they doing it?
Do you know why? Why are they doing it?
They haven't said. They're saying that they're following the order. But it's like, but you didn't even, even if you were following it, you didn't have to yet.
I was just following orders is basically every Nazi SS officer's excuse.
By the way, these are sanctuary states I'm talking about. And by the way, Seattle just did it too. So what happened to sanctuary states? And again, I don't know how the law applies in sanctuary states in terms of trans healthcare or trans rights. But I will say this, we are states who are constantly suing and who are fighting back and saying, the crimson wave stops here. That's like one of California's slogans. It isn't red here and it never will be. That's like one of our selling points. So like, what the fuck is happening?
Except for Beverly Hills. The crimson wave stops here, except for Beverly Hills where it flows freely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And Orange County.
And clearly the tech world too. I mean, look at Mark Zuckerberg now. But these were also states that did pass laws protecting trans people from discrimination or prosecution if they cross state lines to get treatment in California. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't be extradited, nothing. So I want to know, in less than a month, how have our safest places to live for people who are not safe to live anywhere folding like this? Especially in a medical setting, as you mentioned. Seattle Children's Hospital, as I said, just did this also. Several Democratic state attorney generals have sent letters to hospitals in their states urging them to continue treating transgender patients, warning them it would violate state law to discriminate against trans patients by refusing to provide treatments for them. California Attorney General Rob Bonta did the same thing. He issued a letter to Children's Hospital LA putting them on notice for their obligations under anti-discrimination law, saying that the law requires you to continue to provide gender-affirming care. It's just so shocking and upsetting. I really don't understand why this is happening here. And all I can think of is it must have to do with big healthcare tech shitheads. I don't know. Pharma people. I don't know. Who is in bed with him?
Boards of directors, I guess.
Right. It has to be the people with deep pockets who are trying to ingratiate themselves, because now we are in like a law and order state to where I think these bigwigs feel like Trump could destroy us. But it's like, but for him not to just, quote, destroy you, which means what? You'd be robbed of $1 less billion a year? I don't know what the fuck it means. Or he'd tweet about you, versus continuing to marginalize and essentially cause violence, and really violence in the fact that you are not letting these people live their freedom in a free country. Like, honestly, take the hit, dudes. Let Trump be mad at you. You're a billionaire. Who cares? And I want to say the same thing, actually, about Eric Adams. But this is definitely a tangent. But Eric Adams, mayor of New York, attended Trump's inauguration. And by the way, probably the most liberal city in the country. Attended Trump's inauguration, met with Trump in Mar-a-Lago several times. The mayor of New York said he won't criticize Trump publicly, has encouraged other New York officials to do the same. Don't criticize him publicly. Don't talk about him. Suddenly was just announced 2 hours before we started recording that all charges against him have been dropped in bribery and fraud and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
People on and that is why, by the way, this is the problem. This is why politics are so corrupt. And I know I sound like a crazy person. When you get to the top like that and you get caught, all of a sudden your morals and everything goes out the window, because you just want to ingratiate yourself to someone who's going to just make it all go away for you.
Right.
And that's the mayor of New York has sold his city out over and over again in this way.
It's the same I mean, listen, we learned that lesson definitely growing up in Texas.
Yeah.
Because that's how it is in Texas. It's good old boy structure. And then in Hollywood, you see people who get rich and then suddenly they stop fucking caring. And look
at the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, who is in a wheelchair and is trying to roll back DEI programs, including those for people who also are in wheelchairs.
Oh, like, remember he got a grant or whatever from the Obama administration to build a wheelchair ramp in Texas at the Capitol. And he said no.
He said no. He also, remember last year or the year before, when it passed the state house unanimously about this law that would tighten punishment for animal abuse, and he was the only person. He vetoed it. And by the way, a Republican House and State Senate passed it unanimously. Whatever. But all I'm saying is these guys are ingratiating themselves to the worst kinds of people, and people on every side of the aisle, including our own side, are showing us who they truly are in these moments, and who they are as themselves, because they're interested in themselves. And it's up to us to make sure that they know that we're watching. It's nice right now to at least have an attorney general in California who is trying to stand up and do the right thing. But I got to tell you, we have to just watch him too. I mean, really, it's almost like, who can you even trust at this point when California and New York are being so reckless like this? And when other places around the country and even the world are watching what the two most liberal cities in the country are doing, and what they're doing is failing. Anyway. So I've got to figure out my hair. I really just do. It's like 1992. It's not even like 1999. It's like 1992.
Yeah, it's early 90s. It's like you just got out of the 80s.
Yeah.
Same with this country.
Yeah. We got some Spotify reviews. 50 is a wake up next week in jail kind of territory.
Don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means, but I love it. That's from like a gallon of PCP. Listen, enjoy it.
Frank says, I was on a Coke Zero spree.
Do we have to do this again?
All last fall, but Coca-Cola is an unethical company and terrible for you. I've been weaning it off. Now you're not going to do this.
No.
With flavored seltzer and kombucha.
No, that won't be happening.
Yeah.
I've
But
got
you'll find something else.
I live by a chemical for chemical lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Whatever chemicals I'm no longer putting in my body, I need to find other ones to put in my body. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Freddie Bell Jones says on Apple Podcasts, do you understand?
We love you, Frank, by the way, because they also said, I totally understand, though it's a tough habit to kick. 5 stars, love you guys. You're a great comfort in these upsetting times.
Sorry, Frank, I sold you short.
I didn't know why Coca-Cola was so evil of late, and consider the habit kicked.
You were all here when you discovered it. Lee Genevieve says, Freddie Bell Jones, do you understand? If you understand, you understand.
You understand. Do you understand?
We've got this new thing we're doing on the Patreon this week. We've got Woo or Shoe. We've got all kinds of stuff.
Episodes.
Ad-free episodes. It's all there for you.
Everything. By the way, I didn't know I could reply on the Patreon when people leave comments.
Yes.
So I've been like commenting back.
I'm so happy for you.
In fact, Sergio, we should start reading some of those comments on here too, some of the Patreon comments. They're so fun. So I'm going to start writing people back. I didn't know I could do that.
Oh, I love that you've discovered this. This is I love this. And I guess I want to start saying at the end of the show, I can't say that it bothers me.
I just can't say that it bothers me.
I just can't say that it bothers me.
Mm-mm.